We live? Are we up? Are we up? Are we up? And it's up, and it's up, and it's up. What's up? Hey, just waiting for the crew to show up, and we'll get this started. But I wanted to make sure that everything's crispy. Gotta make sure. Is everything crispy? I'm muted? Alright. Hold on. Hold up. Testing. How am I muted? Is this messed up? What? What? Let me see. Hold up. You can hear me? Oh, okay. It's just crazy how simply me unplugging the USB cable and plugging it back in. Yo, PC's crazy. Yo, PC's crazy. Bro, simple troubleshooting, right? Yo, what's up? What's up? How's everything going? I'm just waiting for the crew to rock out. I see code happening. The kind gentleman, the Chief Justice. He's muted right now, but he set himself up. Got a great show. I think, partially. There's some cool topics. I'm chilling, people, man. How's everybody in the chat, man? Really appreciate you guys rocking out, showing up. I hope, provide some entertainment. Hold up. Let's see.
What's going on, Rock?
What's going on, brother? How's everything?
Man, everything is good. Everything is good.
It's good. I see everybody still going after you. You know what I'm saying? Yo, these guys are so terrible. Going after your age. They're saying you ain't shit. And it's true. If you ain't shit, then why y'all keep worrying about you? You know what I'm saying? There's billions of people on Twitter that you can follow. Why they gotta bother you?
Yeah, I'm giving them pain, Rock. They can't hank it.
Yeah, so it's like I said before, when you're in that space, the currency is information, how it's presented. And he who wields that currency, people attract, whether it's something they want to hear or if it's something people want other people to stop saying. If that makes sense.
Uh-huh.
That's what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about, how you present the information, whether it's a form of a joke, parody, or something serious. You're going to have those that want to hear it. And then you're going to want those that it's not simply not hearing it. It's making sure you still don't say it so other people can't hear it.
Absolutely.
You see? And that's the part that's funny. Because if it's just simply something you don't want to hear or read, then just don't read it, scroll by. But that ain't it. They want to make sure that information is not presented to somebody else.
Right. Just block me or mute. Exactly. There's all kind of ways to not be bothered with me. You don't want to be bothered with me. It's easy to not be bothered with me. But they go out of their way to see what I'm doing.
Okay. It's just weird, and it's just weird behavior. I always, and it's not just the gaming community. I think it's just generally this new generation of people on social media or growing up social media, right? When I hear the term, let people enjoy what they like, right? And I see that statement a lot, right? A lot. And I'm thinking, how am I stopping you from enjoying anything in the first place? Like, one, you don't even know me. We don't know each other. We never interacted, right? I'm pretty sure whatever platform they're playing on, I had no involvement in them getting that platform. And I'm pretty sure they've been gaming all their life, right? Regardless of how old they are, without any input from me. So how am I, saying tweets, stopping people from enjoying the hobby? My tweets ain't got nothing to do with somebody else's enjoyment. It ain't got nothing to do with that. Like, you don't even have to listen to me. Like, you didn't hear my words before. You don't have to hear my words after. You could just move on and block, and that's it.
And never have to hear a word you say if they don't want to.
Yeah, exactly. But it's not about lack of enjoyment. It's just terms to use, because ultimately they don't want you to say the information you're saying. That's really what it is, which is weird.
Yeah, they know more than you do. Like, man, this stuff I forget that I done tweeted, and they still be DMing me and all of this stuff, want to argue about stuff I said 3 weeks ago. Like, what are you talking about?
It's just funny, but it's also entertaining. And what they don't realize is that actually, maybe antagonize is the wrong word, but maybe it's just for me. It speaks for myself. But that makes me do it even more. And I don't think they realize that. The fact that I know people want me to shut up is what makes me talk even more. Like, I'm the opposite when it comes to, like, if somebody wants me, like, if somebody's trying to impose their will on me, I react the opposite. I do it even more. If that makes sense.
What you mean?
Like, for example, they're like, oh, shut up. You need to be saying this. Why are you always talking about this on timeline? Well, one, not only am I not going to shut up, now I'm going to do more of it. And it's incumbent on you to deal with it. Because now I'm in overdrive now. Just to prove a point.
Yeah, exactly.
So now I'm going to be spiteful. So anyway, how you been, brother? What you been up to?
Man, really, Rock, shoot, it's been a long day at work today and a long day at work yesterday. Like, man, I really ain't been able to act a fool the way I wanted to. But,
so work, so work got you busy.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So hopefully we'll get that comment here. All right, I see we got Craig here, so we'll drop this down right here. We got the voice of Xbox. Is that a Coca-Cola? Oh no, that's Fidelity. I thought that was a Coca-Cola symbol on his avatar.
Yeah, Craig always mixing it up though.
Yeah, he's always mixing up Fidelity FX. Is he trying to figure that out? But shout out to the chat. We already got over 150 viewers, and we barely say anything. That is awesome. Hit the like button. I think. Well, given the title of because one of the titles is why is Xbox being held to a different lower standard, whatever. Like, why is criticizing Xbox considered hating, but yet, we could criticize PlayStation, Nintendo more often than not. That's considered demanding better, right? So I think people are really interested in that, because that happened with this Halo thing. We'll talk about that, because I noticed that a lot. Like, now it's just dismissing anything negative about Halo. Like, any negative comment is just simply either you're a hater or you just never intended to play the game anyway. It's some type of connotation that there is no negativity behind it. It's just people just saying stuff to say stuff, which is almost it's almost impossible for any product for that. Like, I mean, we'll talk about that more. Just a guy, thank you for the $2 super chat. Appreciate it. I see no comment, but hey, just want to shout you out and say thank you very much. Hold on, man. Luca wants to know. She wants to do this space tomorrow, which is pretty interesting. She wants to do a space tomorrow based on being a superhero that actually kills supervillains, and what are the morality behind that. That's pretty funny, actually. The morality the morality, I guess. She hasn't really named it, but based on our conversation, it's the morality behind a superhero killing supervillains. Instead of them always trying to capture them, and then they break out, kill more people, recapture them, break out, capture people. Well, you just kill them right off the bat.
Well, that's almost what Gore the God Butcher does.
Gore the God Butcher?
Yeah, it's not. I understand what she's saying, though, but Gore the God Butcher, anybody that calls himself a god, he goes out to kill them.
Who the fuck is that?
Oh, that's a he's being played by Christian Bale in the MCU. Been cast, so I don't want to spoil it. So
when was this announced? Like I didn't even know you. I didn't even know you were talking about MCU. Like who the hell is Gore the God Butcher?
No, that's if she's saying somebody who goes around and just takes people out. That's pretty much what he does.
I know, but wait, hold on. But who is he? I never heard of him.
He's another superhero, almost Omega level, very powerful.
In Marvel?
As Marvel goes more into space.
And Christian Bale is playing him. When was this announced?
Boy, it's been months ago.
No, it hasn't. Really?
I'm pretty sure you can go look it up.
I gotta look at this because I've been looking at MCU pretty closely. I never heard of Gore the God Butcher, let alone actually. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying.
Let me double check. I'm pretty sure it was. Let's see, Christian.
Or is it a rumor?
Well, I'm double checking
because I stay
away
from rumors because they're so annoying.
See, Gore the God Butcher. Let's see here. I'm just
I like Chris Rice. He says there will be way less content for superheroes if villains were killed right away. That's true. It's all about monetization.
This is from Screen Rant. It says, "Who is Gore the God Butcher? Christian Bale's Thor 4 villain explained." So that's from Screen Rant. That's all.
How's the saying go, Optimus? The money's not in the treatment. The money's in the cure. I mean, the money's not in the cure. The money's in the treatment for the medical industry.
Yep.
You don't make money finding cures. You make money finding treatment.
Exactly.
That is the most unethical. That is the most unethical business strategy. Oh my God! People should go to jail thinking like that. Like if you even think like that, just put them in prison. just go to jail. We don't need this society. How could, curse the man who figured that out. I'm just gonna say, if the first person who created that business strategy, that the business strategy is to create treatment and not cures, I hope there's a special place in hell for you. Like oh my God, I hope you're right along with the rapists and baby rapists and all them. You fit right along with them. That is such a fucking horrible thing. That is evil in its purest form. Jesus Christ. Anyway, I'm sorry for saying that. What was it? So go ahead. What you were saying?
Well, they've also cast Adam Warlock again.
I saw that one.
As they go into space, the people are just going to get insanely powerful. So, and Adam Warlock is extremely powerful. So is Gore the God Butcher. It's going to.
Now let me ask you this, because this is an interesting topic. Do you think Marvel is going in a bad direction, introducing these super ultra powerful gods? I understand they're in the comics, but in the movies, like for example, you got the Eternals, you got the super ultra powerful gods, and then the next thing you got X-Men and Logan. Like, how do these guys fit in this universe? Like, there's certain characters.
If you go to watch the Eternals, it will tell you everything.
Okay,
that's why people who are interested in where they're going, they have to start at zero. They're starting everybody. They're hitting a reset button. You know, when Tony Stark snapped his fingers, and that was the end of that phase, and they're starting a new phase. It's going to be primarily in space. That's why the Loki show and all that stuff is primarily.
But what about the grounded heroes, like like the Falcons and the Winter Soldiers? Because them guys are nowhere near. Yeah, but they're nowhere near on the Omega level as these do. So are they going to keep them separate? No. They're going to keep them they're going to keep their story separate.
Yeah, they'll still, and then they'll just reconnect. I mean, Hawkeye's show is coming out in 3 or 4 more weeks.
So like, you know how everything converged, right? Infinity War and Endgame converged everybody. I don't think we're going to see that level of convergence again. You can't. Because imagine you have this cosmic war and you throw in fucking Winter Soldier. Like, what the fuck are you going to do with this little shitty metal arm? Are you an idiot? Like, you're going to do punch up fucking an Eternal or a cosmic god? You're going to be like, what the fuck?
No, they're doing Young Avengers. They're setting that up, and they're setting up West Coast Avengers.
Yeah, I understand.
They're going to set all that up.
But what I'm saying,
cross over.
But you think like the convergence? I don't know, man. It just won't like the convergence with like Endgame and how everything converged. It was balanced. It was right. But with these Eternals, if they introduce Galactus, the Tribunal, the Beyonder, like fuck. Like this is like
they are going to introduce Galactus. Yeah. Galactus could very well be a Celestial or a Dark Celestial. Yeah. So is that the way to see?
Yeah, you know, at this point, man, Winter Soldier Falcon, just sit the fuck down. Like, this is above your pay grade now.
Well, remember, he's no longer Falcon. He is Captain America.
I don't he could rename him all he want. He's still a dude who's gonna get fucked up. He's a dude from the bayou. You're gonna get fucked up fucking with a Celestial. Keep fucking around. You better sit your ass down.
Yeah, the Celestials are extremely powerful, but they explain all that in the movie that's coming out in a couple weeks. I'm not going to spoil it. I've seen it.
All right. Shout out to Localism 1025. Thank you for the super chat. He says in the super chat, this dude, oh no, it's Alex, made a video bitching about Thrash and Jada complaining about Halo Infinite. So he made a video about. So he complained about people complaining. Okay.
J-Dub's video, shout out to J-Dub City. He was more talking about the people who talked about the power of 12 T-flops and all that kind of stuff. So that's what his video was more about. Thrash broke that down, and I can't believe the amount of pop-in that was in that, what was there. So it was just incredible amount of pop-in. I mean, no butter, no salt.
That's why you want to talk to
yeah, like, why is there so much pop-in? Is this BRS backfiring, or are they taking assets away? I mean, it looked blurry. The draw distances look blurry. And again, it may have just been an alpha that we were looking at. I don't know. So, but I was like, man, why is there so much pop-in? I mean, shout out to King Thrash for... And then when they called in that drop ship, that thing just fell down like an apple falling off a tree.
Listen, but to be fair, military goes with the lowest bidder in creating our products.
Okay, fair enough.
Fair enough. We always go for the lowest bidder. Okay.
Okay, that's true. Okay.
We're not that far off. We tend to go for the lowest bidder when our stuff is made.
Like I said, I'm gonna play it because I play all the Halo games. But that was disappointing when you talk about a $500 million budget, and that's based on last year had the game come out. So how much more money have they paid? And it still may be a very good campaign. And but yeah, J-Dub's video was about the whole power thing, how all these guys hyped up power and things like that. So like, to me, it exposed all those influencers. I'm like, yeah, y'all should have waited on some benchmarks, before you ran your mouth on what the performances were going to be. Well, so to me, no ray tracing again on a Microsoft first party game, so there's something more going on. But people that have it, hey, that's what I heard you and Cole talking. I don't know why other people go to outside influences to justify them spending their own damn money. I've never understood that, but
well, there's a lot of people that's how the power of influencer has come from. And here's another super chat, and this is my boy Game Over Brian. Hi, questioning Code's leadership ability of Pegasus Nation. Oh, you hear that, Code? This is for you. So, hi, questioning Code's leadership ability of Pegasus Nation. So I have a question for him. When upgrading Final Fantasy Remake for PS5, do trophies pop automatically?
Say what?
His question is, when upgrading FS7, that means, you upgrade from the PS4 and then you play it over to the PS5. Do trophies pop up automatically? Meaning all the trophies you earned on the PS4, when you boot it up on the PS5, do they just automatically unlock? Yes or no?
Some of them do. Yeah, some do, some don't.
Okay. Well, the answer is yes. It was just, I don't know, it's an exploit. I don't think it's an exploit. I think it just, I don't know if it's an exploit. I think it's just because of how it's designed. Like when I played the DLC, I transferred over Final Fantasy VII and to play the Tifa, not Tifa, the what's her name again? Not Tifa, I forgot her name. Anyway, like all of a sudden, as soon as I booted up, all you heard was bling, the little chime, ding, and I'm like, what the fuck, ding, and it just kept popping up. So every trophy I earned on Final Fantasy VII, while I did on the PS4, so it doubled it. So I double dipped. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, some you can, but
okay.
like Tales of Arise, you can't do that.
Because they purposely made two versions, right? Because they made two versions, right? The PS5 and the PS4, so they're separate.
Yeah, like so it just depends, but a lot of them do double dip though.
So are you happy? Game over, Brian. Does he keep the leadership position, or this is a challenge to the death? There you go. And oh my God, thank you for the super chat. User called Optimus Backsweat.
Damn. What? Did you say what?
I'm not lying, Optimus. There's a user called Optimus Backsweat.
Did you say Backsweat?
Optimus, his name. Look in the chat. His name is Optimus Backsweat. $2 super chat. Guardians is game of the year.
Heard good things. I've not seen the people that I really trust and respect. They say they really are enjoying that game. So.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of positivity over that, and and I'm assuming it's a single player focused game, correct?
Yeah, they learned their lesson with the Avengers.
Amazing. If you give people what they expect out of something, wow, who knew? Jason Hennigan, he says Insurgency Sandstorm is better than Halo. Ooh, already the Halo slander.
Well, how do we know that? I mean, Halo's not out yet, but he might be right. He might be right. Shout out to him,
man. The slander, shout out. Thank you so much, Jason, for rocking out. Whoa. Oh, watch it. You're a hater, so you can't say those things. Those things are gonna get canceled, bro.
Hashtag cancel.
You'll be canceled over this shit. All right, but hey, let me start off with the first topic. Since you guys here. Let's talk about Horizon Zero Dawn. Have y'all seen the little new snip in a blog post about it? Sony posted, PlayStation blog posted it, ironically, around the same time. Now, here's my thing, right? Did they really say anything new and interesting that we already have not seen when the game was first revealed? Like, I read it, and I see those little details, but I'm thinking, like, you really didn't say anything new. You just pretty much... I guess went into deeper detail into something that was already shown. But were you blown out by this new info or anything of Horizon Forbidden West? Was anybody blown away? Have y'all read the article?
Well, I think they said it, Chad, 10 or 12 distinct things she could do, or like leveling up, and at the sound like they have a shop or somewhere you can go. And I thought they had that in the last one, but I guess they didn't. I hadn't played it in such a long time. But she could upgrade her bow staff, or something like that. Like she have a workbench. So I guess that was new, but that seems like something they would have added anyway. But it's nice just to get confirmation. And remember, they did say a few months ago or a month ago, whenever they showed that game, that they would be having more information towards the fall, which I'm just following up, in my opinion. Yeah. So.
But is this info really big? Like, is it really like?
Well, I think they did it. Oh my
God!
I think they kind of did it to show you the visual comparison.
I think there you go, there you go, there you go, Code.
I can't prove it, but
oh God, I needed y'all to be real. Say Optimus. Well, for sure, shout out to Jason again. He said they can cancel these nuts. Laughing my motherfucking ass off. Code, you are the wisest among us. Is he here?
He put himself on
he's muted. He's on mute. So I hope you're not talking, Code, because you got yourself on mute. So let me get back to you, Craig, while he gets back on. But that right there, in my opinion, is what happened, right? Because a lot of the details wasn't all that surprising, and you could guess most of it from the initial reveal when they had that long 20-minute or whatever reveal of Forbidden West, right? But the one thing was just a reminder of how our game looks on the day the Halo campaign came out.
Yeah.
So, like it or not, people are looking at the graphics between the two. And Sony made sure that that's a comparison that will happen. This is Microsoft's big first-party game. This is our big first-party game. And they're both open world. So you can't say, oh, it's a corridor and it's not the same and it's easier to process. No, you can both look at both, right? Oh, somebody says a 14-minute reveal. So yeah, 14-minute reveal, right? Climbing, free fall, all this stuff, right? Most likely more traverse areas because, you know, in the first game you had the desert, you know, you had the snowy mountains, so who knows? And this one you could go underwater, right?
Yeah.
So Sony made sure, PlayStation made sure that the conversational graphics is talked about, which is pretty fun in my opinion, right? Because when I saw it, I was like, ooh, Sony throwing shots. Look at this game. Look how gorgeous this game is. And then you look at Halo Infinite and you're like, ooh, that shit, you know. And we made it worse, right? People talking about, oh man, look how great the improvement is. And then the devs like, oh, that's CGI. But we'll have more to talk about. Ooh.
Yeah. You know they did that on purpose, man.
What? What's so? Can you let us know what's going on? Do you think it's CGI or you think they're lying about CGI?
What, on Horizon?
Oh no, so no Horizon. Oh, you're talking about Sony. Okay, good, you're back. So
yeah,
all right. So the Horizon thing. Do you really think Sony did that so they could tell us detail about a bow, or do you think no? We're gonna remind you on how this game looks graphically. Like they're gonna show the world, hey, this is what Microsoft's showing. Let us show under the guise of, oh yeah, we're gonna go into little details and the little gliding thing will help you traverse. Man, shut up. We already seen that in the 14-minute reveal. We know that gliding thing is gonna help out. We know the hook. You showed it to us. It's the graphics. They're reminding us this is the graphics of Horizon Zero Dawn. I mean, Forbidden West.
Yeah, they absolutely knew that they was going to drop that on the day that Halo was going to drop a little reveal, and they made sure that they had some fire ready to steal all the headlines, all the attention, all the mind share was going to be on Horizon. And they did exactly what they wanted it to do.
Okay. And
at any moment, they can just steal thunder whenever they want to.
And that thunder, I would say, like, all right, because, you know, Halo's a first-person shooter, so it's always going to have that thunder, right? Halo's back, first-person, blah, 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 right? And that's true, right? And there's some merit to that. But the merit of how the game looks, graphically, there is no thunder for that game. That game is not not saying that the game is terrible, looks terrible, whatever, but it's definitely not something you're gonna brag about for Game of the, Graphics of the Year or something. It's definitely not a showrunner for any graphics award. It's definitely not a graphical showcase, right? And then Horizon Forbidden West being reshown, it's definitely, if there was any doubt that Halo Infinite graphic looks fine. Yeah, take a look at this. All right, I'm gonna have to look at this on an OLED. I'm gonna have to shout out to Musa. My man said he said he's gonna have to look at Halo again on an OLED because it don't look right. Man. You know what I'm saying? Halo looks, it looks mid. It's all right. It's not something that you graphically would brag about. It's not. It's just not. And the fact that the one thing that probably did look good, like the upgraded whatever Banish looked good. It wasn't all that jarring, right? Because there's nothing I haven't even seen on the PS4, to be honest. PS4 character models looked amazing, so it's not like the character model was like, oh my god, this is amazing. It looked good, but then when the developer said that CGI, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you can't even do something the PlayStation 4 did? Like,
well,
Jesus.
I just think I think the problem is that I mean, look, there's everybody in the Sony camp, so to speak. Everybody's spoiled with the greatness. I mean, I don't know how else to describe. I'm not trying to say that to be funny or to be facetious. So when you see a Microsoft game, they're like the DCEU. I mean, the DCEU overall was trash, but that doesn't mean that they didn't drop a few pearls. And I just think that's what Microsoft is going to do. Overall, there's not going to be the quality It's just not. That's not Microsoft's DNA. It's not. That's what Apple's for. Apple's about quality. Microsoft has always been about quantity. But at the end of the day, do I think they're going to drop some good games? Yes, I think Perfect Dark. I'm excited for that game. I'm excited for Starfield, stuff like that. But I just think I think you're seeing the chickens coming home to roost with this whole thing when the Xbox was unveiled at that gaming show, and then the specs came out, and people are just like laughing at hey, if you have all these specs and full RDNA 2 and VRR and an HPV, whatever the hell they're going to put on this thing, and your games look like this, you all should not really be talking about specs anymore, and I just try to enjoy your games. But yeah, that's just my opinion on it. Yeah, you're right, Puerto Rock. I mean, I've seen better character models on well, you can go back to friggin' the 360 with character models. I've seen, and I like Halo. I don't hear people saying, well, you're just saying that. No, I was in line at midnight for the Finish Your Fight pickup launch at Best Buy. So I don't want to hear the bullshit. That was what I saw looked disappointing. Doesn't mean it won't be fun, but yeah, when that developer came out and said, yeah, this is not gameplay, this is CGI, I just said, oh my God. That's all I could say. OMG. OMG.
Right. Shout out to Jason again. He said, Halo's slogan was Combat Evolved. It definitely has devolved. And Halo's supposed to be Xbox's Halo game. And shout out, and also super chat, shout out to Dribble Piss. Thank you for the super chat. He just gave me a dollar or a euro super chat, and he has
shout out to him.
Shout out to Dribble Piss. That's pretty funny. Yeah. So let's look at this. So Code. So let's talk about. I'll start with you, Code. So did you see the 6-minute campaign reveal?
Yep.
What were your thoughts behind the 6 minutes that was shown to you?
So. Hey, hold on, Rock. I gotta take this phone call.
Okay, so then I'll start with Craig. So Craig, Craig, you saw the 6 minute?
Yes, sir. I watched it this morning in 4K.
Okay.
So
you saw it on an OLED?
Not on an OLED. Still on LED.
So break it down. What did you saw? What did you see? What are the positives, negatives? What did you overall?
The positive to me and what they're selling is the overall message is Halo is back. Master Chief is back. That's their overall arching message.
No, besides, never mind the message. I'm talking about you in terms of the game and what they showed you. How the 6 minutes? What did you like about it? I know it's Halo. Yes. What did you like about it? Did you like that it's open world? They're going in different directions.
Yeah, it's open world. That's pretty cool.
What are the things you liked about what you've seen? What are the things you don't like what you've seen?
The fact that it's open world, I think that is good. I really hope that does well. It sounds like they're adding more to the lore. I think that's going to be good for the TV show. Okay. So that's exciting. But as far as the gameplay, and I haven't played it because I didn't do the whatever that test they did. But it looks like Halo. It looks like if you like the other Halos, then you'll like minus the turn-based ones. It looks like you'll enjoy this. So the gameplay itself, have to wait to play it, but that looked like it's going to be the same. So it's like, well, if you like this one, you liked it back then, you'll like it now. The technical thing, the pop-in, that was straight garbage. I don't know about the sound because, you can't really tell, but the pop-in was the texture quality didn't look great. So and who knows? I'm not, but maybe that's why I said maybe it was an alpha or a beta we were looking at. So, but yeah, this overall, the way it looked, it did not look next gen. It didn't scream next gen to me the way it looked. But yeah, just the overall, their message to me, honestly, from what that woman was saying, the Master Chief is back. It's up to him to all his comrades have been killed and all that kind of stuff. It's up to him to turn it around or something like that. So, yeah, just have to wait and see. I'm sure they'll damage control it when it comes out. Okay. Unfortunately, so. Okay. But yeah, I'll play it on Game Pass. It's a Game Pass game.
All right. So the Hatsuma, it says, check out Resistance 3. Drops your trailer PS3, bro.
That was a good looking game.
Yeah, remember that? I know a lot of people would like that game to be remade for the PS5. I wonder if it would have more success on the PS5 than it did on the PlayStation 3. It would be interesting.
Will it?
It would be interesting to know.
Yeah, well, we may find out.
Jason says, meaning its biggest game, and saw the reveal. Morgan Kimes, YouTube is playing with my notifications. Hey, everybody. What's up? What's going on? Everybody hit the like button and retweet this out. It would be truly appreciated. Ledger says, Halo is a FPS, so everything that goes to your character animations is gun sway animations. So why can't they at least get the NPC's great animations?
That's a good question. I like I said, I can't answer that. I mean, maybe, like I said, maybe what we saw was just an alpha or beta. You know, they were just kind of explaining the overall what the campaign was about. Again, maybe not. If that, because it never did see, at least I didn't see it, that it said game captured on. I never saw that on my screen, but maybe somebody knows if that was on PC or on an Xbox. I don't know. So, but I don't disagree with the people who said it didn't scream next gen just by looking at it. And they're right. I agree. When you look at like Returnal, that looks like something next gen, you know, just looking at it. So, yeah, it was, I was disappointed overall, but this felt like their message was Master Chief is back, rah, you know, so that, all right, you know, if you want to look at it like that, that's what I'm saying. There's people who, and I don't blame you. They spent $500 million, okay, on the game, you know, so you should expect the moon. Yeah. Well, I'm saying people expect that. I understand who that. I understand that. Yeah, you spend. It's like you know, the Avengers movie you were talking about. It cost over what $240 million to make. You know, so yeah, you with that budget, you expect it to do what it did, right? So yeah, people have every right to be disappointed in it. But yeah, I just if you want quality, you're not going to get that out of Microsoft. Doesn't mean you won't get an occasional gem, a pearl. It literally, like DC gave us Man of Steel. But they also gave us that trash ass Justice League. But they gave us the first Wonder Woman. They also gave us a trash ass Batman v Superman. So again, that's just the quality. It's just what I can really tell from these games and what people are talking about. So to go back to what you and Cole were saying, you know, earlier, that is, you know, now people are just like, well, you know, you're influencing me, and why are you talking bad about it? That's kind of where that's coming from.
So Code, you are back. Okay, so you're back. You had your conversation with Obama. You gotta give him some more advice. You gotta be, hey nephew, man, this is what you need to do now that you're no longer the president. These are some of the moves you need to make.
So, man, ain't nobody that important like that.
So, what did you think about the 6-minute campaign?
Honestly. So, I don't think that it was bad at all. But I didn't think it was spectacular, and that's the problem. What they showed, I was fine. Like, I was not really disappointed in what they showed, but it was nothing that just like knocked me off my feet. Mm-hmm. And so, like, I could have stayed on my 1S or my 1X. Like, there is just nothing about it that screams next generation. It's just like the next Halo. It could have stayed on, like, they could have never made a Series X or the Series S. Just could have not ever made them at all. It just would have been the next one right in the series. Like, you know, Barry, everybody always say, well, it's going to be fun with your friends and all this stuff. And of course, stuff is going to be fun with your friends. Like, that's not really how you judge it. It's, did this game just really go that extra mile to make you feel it, and it's full of emotion that is bringing in graphics, sound, story, all of that stuff. Game of the year contender. I'm just not seeing all of that stuff. Again, like to be clear, I don't think that is horrible at all. It's fun to make jokes about it, but there was nothing really bad about it. I don't think there was anything that was ugly. I didn't think anything was horrible. It just was not spectacular. And honestly, like, so when you talk about like the Sony games, first party games, we always talk about all the bangers, but people always leave off Days Gone. Although I personally really like Days Gone, but it does not match the standard for most people, and they don't really bring it up in the rest of the games. Yeah. And this is what, like, but this is Halo, this all they got, and so they gotta push it. But if this was on Sony, yeah, they wouldn't even listen. It would not even be in the conversation because this does not match the standard. So again, I think it's okay. We're definitely gonna play it for sure, but I'm not just like, all right, cool. I'm good. I'll get to it when I get to it. Okay.
Yeah. Again, just to reiterate, the quality. It's just it didn't pop. You know, especially.
It popped.
Yeah. It was popping.
Like, according to you, it was popping all the time.
Yeah, it did pop. Yeah, but if you give a studio a reported $500 million, I understand you want to be blown away, but I mean, to me, it's kind of sad in a way because that was their anchor franchise. And, you know, Halo, there was a guy back in the day who drove around in Hollywood in a limousine, was riding a limousine, shopping a Halo movie script. And damn near they almost got it done. So, but that's how big that game was. That's the crossover appeal it had. Now it's just clear it's not there anymore. I mean, I'm not saying that the franchise is dead. If it was dead, they wouldn't be making a TV show. But at the end of the day, I agree 100% with Code. It just didn't. I just look at it as there's a quality issue here. We go back to Steve Jobs, the late Steve Jobs, arguing with Bill Gates on Apple stuff being better. You know, Apple stuff having the quality. And Bill Gates not giving a rat's ass and telling Steve Jobs, so what? We have more stuff. So Microsoft's DNA, it's always about quantity, you know. So that's just what they're going for. And so to me, considering what they're going for, I agree with Code. To me, it's fine. But I'm just going to add, it didn't pop, not for half a B. So. But that doesn't mean it's not a good game. It just means it's the quality that you're used to seeing with a Blue Point or Housemarque or Gorilla. You're not going to get that with Microsoft. You know, you're just not right now. Doesn't mean that Starfield won't be great. Forza looks like it's going to be really good. So that looks like that could be their, you know, that's one of their games that will pop. You know, but it should, because the Forza series is one of their better series, has been since back in the day. So I will have to, it's a shame that it's come to this, but that's why I've said before, the console war is over. Agree 100% with J-Dub. So just, you know, go have your fun, you know. Right. Play with friends, like which I was just saying.
So Optimus Backsweat, thank you for the super chat.
Backsweat.
This is, I don't like Xbox, but Halo looks pretty awesome. All right, like I said, it looks fun. All right, so let me
Let me do
this shit, because you know I ain't letting this shit go. Nah. So I'm gonna let everybody know now. Batten down the hatches. Women and children. Seal the hatches, because it's going down right now. It's going down right now, all right? And Let me do this. Hold on. Let me. What else is There we go. Okay, so here's the thing. All right. So I'm gonna say this. So I saw the 6 minutes. I'm gonna start off. It is classic Halo. Within the gameplay, I think they did a good idea expanding it to a more open world approach, a more, how would you say, traversal. Go around. Attack the game the way you want. Pretty much the open world. It's not unique in the sense of open world, but it's good that they went with this direction instead of like a corridor shooter, right? I guess this was what would help them. I don't know the plans of Halo campaign in the future. I don't know if they plan to add more DLC content, kind of like Destiny, to expand the campaign over time. I would imagine. I'm not too versed in that future. I know the multiplayer is separate. It's a free to play, so it's two separate. Even though it's Halo, it's two separate things. So the multiplayer is the free to play. Everybody has access to it. You don't even need Game Pass or Xbox Live Gold apparently anymore. You could just play the multiplayer and that's it. While the campaign is the paid campaign. It's also on Game Pass, and I think this campaign is just gonna grow over time. I'm assuming, or I don't know if it's in parts. The gun plays the same, classic Halo. Obviously, that's not going to change. Character design and stuff like that is just, like you said, classic Halo. But it's what Optimus Code said and what you've been saying, Craig. It did not pop. It did not show next gen at all. You could just play this game on the Xbox One S, and yes, you can have fun with your friends, right? But this is not the conversation we're having. And I refuse to have a simple conversation of just enjoy your friends. No. Not after this bullshit 2020 that we had to go through. These dudes think I'm gonna let this shit go? Y'all really think we friends? Y'all think we're just gonna sweep 2020 under the rug with the bullshit that we had all goddamn year long? Yo, I was like not even enjoying podcasts anymore. Listening to motherfuckers. Like, I used to listen to a lot of Xbox podcasts, but when that power shit happened in 2020, I was like, I can't listen to this shit. It's the same conversation every week, and it's not even based on facts or information. They're pushing something that's not true because it hasn't been based on any merit. And this is what we're doing. And I'm not even talking about the fanboys, right? Because obviously, fanboys, on regardless of what platform, is going to do what they're going to do, right? They're going to push misinformation and all that stuff. What I'm talking about is this huge rise of influencers. You have this shift where you can't even tell if a journalist is a journalist anymore, because now they're even treading the line of being an influencer. Like Jeff Grubb, Tom Warren, Dustin and Gary, they were journalists. But now, starting this gen, they're blurring the lines. Of, are you a journalist or are you now an Xbox influencer? Because I can't tell where you at now. Like, I can't tell. Now listen, I'm not trying to shame the game, because in my opinion, there's potential that if you become a very popular influencer, you probably make more bread than an industry journalist. What's that dude? What's his name? Lamar Wilson? That his name on YouTube? Anybody know who I'm talking about? I know
No.
Lamar Wilson.
I don't know.
He's like, he's an older gentleman, right? But the man is always happy on every product he gets. Yo, the dude makes you think every product in the world is the best product. Like, he's always jolly. Y'all know who I'm talking about in the chat. Help me out here. You got me looking stupid. Goddamn chat. It's taking mad long. They got me here looking. Yeah, they say, Lamar Wilson. And shit, man, these guys are counsel warring in my chat that they don't even want to listen. I don't think they even paying attention to us, guys. These guys are counsel warring up in here. Yeah, but I think his name is Lamar. Let me double check. Let me look. I'll tell you right now. I think it's Lamar Wilson, and I'll tell you. Let me look at him right now. Let me look him up. Because I saw a couple of his videos, and I'll tell you how many Lamar. Yeah, Lamar Wilson. That's his name. Look him up. Yeah, Lamar Wilson, 1.8 million subscribers on YouTube. 1.8 million subscribers. And you look at his videos, it's all unboxing videos. Hey, look what they sent me. They sent me this, they sent me that. But he is so happy and jolly by everything. I mean, he's a cool dude. I have no ill will, right? And he's not a Xbox because he gets Nintendo stuff. He unboxed a Tesla. Like, I don't know. They send him all types of shit. Like, how do you fuck you up? How do you unbox a Tesla? Like, what the fuck? Like, he gets all this shit, right? But he is just happy. He unboxed cereal. He unboxed the Hershey Kiss cereal. You know, he's just a happy guy, right? Just a happy guy. He probably makes more money than any industry journalism. And I think they see this. I think they see the money, the revenue an influencer gets, right? And I think that's why they're willing to blur the lines and risk whatever you risk as a journalist, I guess, or whatever, and stuff like that, right? And dude said, the ultimate, man, I'm gonna get free stuff. I'm not an influencer by any means, nor do I want to be. But the point is this, right? So you got these dudes that blur the lines of journalist to influencer, right? And they use that to push a narrative that wasn't based on any information or fact, just an assumption with the intent of making the Xbox Series X the preferred platform to get. The consistent talk about power, the consistent talk of RDNA 2.0, full RDNA 2.0, not RDNA 1.5. The talk of, you know, full 12 T-flops, always running at 12 T-flops and not variable. The best tech. And then also the push for Xbox Series S and Game Pass because little Timmy's mom is concerned about how much all this is going to cost. Right? It was, you know, but going back to the graphics, it was a consistent conversation month after month after month on how the best experience due to the best performance and the best graphically looking games, true native core 4K, 60 and all this crazy stuff, right? Is why Xbox Series X is going to set itself apart over the PlayStation 5, right? And some guys said, like, well, the PlayStation 5 is fine for the console that it is, you know. You're still going to get the great exclusives. But if you really want a cutting edge console product, you know, Xbox Series X will deliver that for you. And this was a conversation all year long, right? Okay. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. And when people questioned it at launch, like, wait a minute, this thing ain't launching the way you guys said it was going to launch. Oh, wait, it's the tools. You guys gotta understand, the tools haven't matured. You know, PlayStation was ready to launch back in 2015. They you know, Xbox was assembled October of 2020. Like, they didn't even put the thing together till like the day before launch. PlayStation 5, oh man, they were planning to launch that in 2017. That's how, you know, it's of course the tools are mature. I'm like, what the, I'm exaggerating. It was supposedly 2019 to when launch PS5, right? While Xbox waited to the very last minute for full RDNA. I'm like, okay. So now the excuse is tools. A year ago, tools is the excuse now. So I'm like, okay, look at this bullshit. And another thing, another group of individuals rose out of the bullshit. And there's these little devs that swore they worked with Sony 20 years ago, or they're making games, but when you ask them what game you're making, they're not telling you. But because they're a developer, quote unquote, with no credentials, oh yeah, you know, Xbox is the best box. 12 T-flops, VRS 2.0. Let me explain to you how all things is important, yet they don't have access to any of these capabilities. They don't have access to any of these dev kits, and they don't even know what Sony's using in place. Those guys also came up. Those guys also became famous, right? So here we are, October 2021. The game was delayed. It's on a new engine. So you can't say it's being held back from a last gen engine. This is a new engine built for this game. Slip Space, I think it's called.
Mm-hmm.
New engine, right? Huge budget. This is a Hallmark franchise. And this game don't even look better than goddamn Infamous Second Son. The fuck are we saying here?
Well,
Like,
I
what
think.
the fuck?
Well, I mean, again, the narrative, it's the same thing that happened in the movies with the MCU and the DCEU. The DCEU was failing. Everybody saw that. So people in the industry who reviewed movies and wrote articles, they started pulling for the DCEU to do better. So they over-reviewed things. They constantly talked about it because, again, if Sony is going to be the biggest dude on the block this generation, Microsoft, these men and women will lose their job because there's no reason for this to have you here to cover Sony because Sony's name brand is already big enough. They don't need the extra. They don't need the extra covers. It's like Nintendo. Nintendo don't really need your help. These are household names. They've been around. Nintendo's been around since people been putting quarters in the arcades. So back in the 70s and 80s. So it's the narrative was, I agree with you, Porter Rock. And what all people want these guys to do is to come out and say, look, they got this wrong, but their job was to talk about Microsoft and talk about things they didn't really know about to keep them relevant. You did a video on this I think you called it Talk That Talk, and how you I thought you put it together really well. On how these guys, it just comes down to they just want Microsoft to stay relevant so they have something to talk about. You had the influencer say, well, I would say stuff nice about Sony if they gave me free stuff. So it's just, so there's your narrative. There is a narrative being painted, but everybody sees it now. Well, these consoles, go ahead.
So here's the thing. So I agree the narrative. So we already know there was a narrative, and that's not even my main thing. I'm saying all this to lead this. Fee Moa, thank you for the super chat. Moa said, would have been one hell of a show if Halo Infinite would have released in 2020. More like if Halo Infinite would have released in 2017 with them graphics. It would have been a hell of a show. Because that's something like PlayStation 4 already spoiled me. And that's just a base PS4, right? But here's the thing. You see what Halo is, right? Graphically. It is not a representation of this 2020 bullshit that we heard in terms of power, right? And then I say all that to say this. People are criticizing, just like Optimus, you made it clear this game does not scream next gen at all. You could have just stood on your Xbox One S and played it if this is what they're going to show. Doesn't mean the game's not going to be fun, you can't enjoy it, but it's about that standard. It's about pushing the envelope. It's about setting the stage, right? It's about, man, this looks like Game of the Year contender. Man, look at the graphics. Like, holy cow, this is jaw-dropping, right? People are saying that. Lots of people are like, this is it? Oh, shut up. It's going to be fun. No one's contesting that a multiplayer game is a goddamn fucking... What's that fucking game? That Battle Royale game. That's fucking... Fortnite. Fortnite's fun for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So no one's arguing on the merit of fun. Fortnite's fun for millions of people. That's why it's one of the most popular games on the planet. You know what I'm saying? But no one's questioning if a game's going to be fun or not. They're questioning just new content to identify and usher in next gen. We need examples of games pushing next gen technology. And Halo ain't it. And with people putting out their complaints, like, yo, this is one of Xbox Premier Studios. This is a studio that have a big budget. And this is what we're getting. You got people shutting that shit down. And this is where it leads to the topic of why can't we hold Xbox to the standard that so many people put? Because it wasn't me going out there saying this is the beast that eats monsters. I wasn't going out there talking about full RDNA 2 and saying that point to ad nauseum. It wasn't us. We were actually trying to curb check and saying a lot of AAA developers that have both are saying you're not going to see much difference between the two. But they weren't trying to hear that. Code probably could talk about that better than anybody else. Ain't nobody trying to hear some balanced, logical reasoning about this shit. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. Right? So all these 2020 dudes, not the fanboys, right? Because obviously fanboys going to fanboy. We're talking about YouTubers, podcasts, influencers, and to a certain degree, some certain journalists. Y'all created this monster to where, and I'm going to tell you, every Xbox game will be critiqued for graphics and next generation look. Because that's the stage you guys created. You created that monster. You created this expectation that that's what we're going to get. And so far, we have not seen it. I'm sorry. There is nothing next gen about the Series X from me looking at a TV or monitor or at a video. Haven't seen it. Have not seen it. Have not seen anything. Not even from the third-party multiplats. Have not seen nothing that I haven't seen on the PlayStation. There is nothing.
Go ahead. Go ahead. My bad. I didn't mean to interrupt you, bro.
Okay. The most next gen they talk about is Resume. Game Resume, or whatever the fuck that shit's called. Like, I could quick resume 5 games. Motherfucker, you ain't got 5 games to play. Shut up.
Right, but understand why the narrative was there. It was to create the narrative and drive people from the PlayStation to the Xbox. That hence Xbox is going to have this and PlayStation 1. Xbox would be doing this and PlayStation 1. It was to create a narrative and you're right about the narrative. The narrative was created to drive the market. Then the consoles come out and everybody's getting their hands on it and they're doing these analysis on it. They're like, well, wait a minute. This game is not PlayStation's outperforming the Xbox. PlayStation, so that was supposed to be where like you said, the difference was going to be, whether it be Assassin's Creed or Devil May Cry or whatever. PlayStation was outperforming. They kept on, you kept on hearing screen tearing, FPS drops. Why is this happening? So forth and so on. But that's why you had a created narrative in the first place. Again, relevancy. So it's like, hey, look, if I pull you to the side and say, hey, look, if this doesn't review well, there's going to be a group of people that may lose their jobs. Can you help push a narrative that this is going to be this, and this? And you may do it. I mean, I believe that's what we were looking at. So, and I was coming out now.
So I get why the narrative created. I'm not even talking about that because to me, we're beyond that topic now. I'm not even talking about why the narrative created. It's done. They already created it. It's created. Now it's accountability because they created a narrative. That's what I'm talking about. I'm no longer interested in the why. Fuck the why. It's done. You made it. You said it. It's there. It's ingrained. It's certified. It's written in stone. Now I'm going to hold you to it. And the fact that we're trying to hold them to it, now we're haters.
Yeah.
So we're haters because we're holding you guys to the shit you said for a whole year. Gamers are haters. All games will criticize. Man, this graphics don't look good. Oh, you're a hater. Just have fun. No, motherfucker. You said it. You created this narrative. How the fuck are we the bad guys now over some shit you said? You sold people on this dream of what Xbox Series X would be compared to the PlayStation 5. You did it. Yeah. You understand? And every game that Xbox made will continue to be hammered until Microsoft starts delivering on the shit you guys co-signed. All that bullshit that you guys said, we're going to hold you to it. You guys did this shit. Don't look at us. Right? Every time, every time another game comes out and people are like, damn, this game don't graphically look good. Like, what the hell? This shit don't look next gen. Right? Every time Microsoft releases a game like that and that's the response, it's your fault that that's happening. Okay? But I have a way out. Because I'm a fair guy. I got a way out for y'all. There is a simple way for you guys to protect Microsoft. If you guys really love Microsoft, and obviously you're indebted, they're your Lord and Savior, and you need to protect them at all costs, there is a way to protect your corporation. There is a way to protect Xbox first-party IPs. And I'm going to let you know how to do it right now. You guys ready for this?
Yep.
I want you to see if you agree. Don't worry about the rest of the year. It's Christmas. It's all about family, the world coming together. We're recovering from COVID as best as we can. Just enjoy Christmas. Enjoy Thanksgiving. Eat your turkey. Eat your penny. Do what you got to do. But as soon as New Year come, y'all guys need to turn over a new leaf. And y'all need to spend all of 2022, week after week, podcast after podcast, consistently telling everybody for the whole year that you guys were wrong. And that you apologize for spreading misinformation for 2020. The way you put that energy into the bullshit of 2020, you need to now reciprocate and balance it out by spending 2022 apologizing, having conversations on why you guys were wrong, you know, being more critical analysis. Like, I don't know, have a podcast on, was it worth waiting for RDNA 2.0? You know, because nobody had that conversation. Like, everybody's like, Microsoft waited for 2.0 and Sony didn't. Nobody bothered to think, wait a minute. Sony didn't wait for full RDNA 2.0. And they have some of the best developers in the world. Definitely better than Microsoft. So Sony didn't bother to wait. Was waiting worth it in the first place? Right? Because if the best who do it say, nah, we don't need to wait for 2.0. We could just do this. Then was it a good decision for Microsoft to wait last 2 minutes? But nobody had a critical thinking analysis. Nobody tried to play devil advocate and be like, wait, hold on. We can't just be like, oh, Microsoft made the decision. It's the best decision in the world. Was it the best decision in the world? Because to me right now, it doesn't look like it was the best decision in the world. It looks like Sony's method of not waiting for full RDNA and doing what they wanted to do to push out the best game seemed like the better option. But nobody tried to have that discussion. Nobody was trying to see that. Well, guess what?
No, not true.
Y'all need to have who? What? Not true?
Optimus Code here was on multiple podcasts trying to tell them what, wait on certain things. We don't know.
No. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, hey, Optimus, did you ever have a podcast, Wayne? Maybe I'm wrong. Did you ever been on a podcast or have you seen a podcast where anybody talked critical thinking, maybe Microsoft should not have waited for full RDNA 2.0? Maybe that was a bad move. Maybe that was a mistake. Maybe Sony not waiting was the better decision. Like, just look at things from the opposite spectrum. Because I haven't. Even I didn't do that. Not saying I'm the end all be all, but I don't remember anyone having a critical thinking analysis of, wait a minute, was waiting for RDNA, full RDNA suites a good decision? What if the difference between the two ain't really that big? What if Sony's tools and Microsoft waiting for full RDNA, there's really not much of a gap? I don't know. We never had that discussion. Because everybody just went full blown, RDNA 2 was the way and the Lord and Savior. And this is how we're going to live our life. And if you don't have it, then you're fucked.
Are you talking about the features of RDNA 2 or just RDNA 2 in general?
Everything. The whole kit and caboodle.
Okay, I misspoke then. Yeah. But I do remember Code going on.
But am I right, Code?
So
yep. I mean, I know what you're saying, Rock. They was talking about, PlayStation got RDNA 1.5, and then they got software
ray tracing.
But it's hardware over here on this side.
Machine learning.
Yeah, machine learning and all the stuff. And he's got like the faster RAM. I'm like, what? But all right, on and go off. And they said that's the quick resume and then all of this
the
stuff.
velocity architecture, the better design. Like, the fuck?
I got told by an ex-bot that they hadn't even used it yet. I'm like, then why were you all talking about velocity architecture? They're not even using it yet. Get the F out of here. What are you doing? So.
Okay.
23 studios and just all of this stuff. And every week they just kept hyping it up more and more. And then when something will come out and it'll look better on the PlayStation, they'll just still keep on hyping it up higher. Well, you just wait because it's going to do this, and you just wait. you buddy. And here it comes. It's their number one flagship title. And this is the thing, because Phil and Aaron, they was been real clear, lower your expectations. But the fan babies, they just running around and no, it's gonna get better, and they just keep just hyping it more every week. No matter what happened, they just
2020.
Man,
it was even you got sick of this shit. Like, I can't believe this shit's happening. Even after launch, they kept doing it. The tools, Code, they're trying to talk to you. Yeah. Code, you don't understand. The tools aren't ready, and you're like, what the fuck is you talking about?
Here's the thing. For 2 years, I've been trying to teach this community about tools and how important tools are. And they just laughed in my face.
You were like compilers. You were like breaking. You weren't even breaking it down.
man, hardware. I'm like, no, it ain't about the hardware. It's the developers and the tools. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. Oh, now everybody talking about tools. Ain't this some bullshit? 2 years I've been trying to teach these clowns, but now everybody wanted to see how important the tool is now. Okay, well, if you got all this hardware, you say this hardware is so fabulous, but it ain't gonna do nothing without the tools, huh? Like, okay. So we see that no matter how good your hardware is, it ain't gonna do nothing without the tools. Yeah. Okay, but when I said it, they laughed at it. Like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Now everybody and their mama talking about the tools. So now here come the tools, everybody got the tools, and here we go. Now it's time we finna get it now, buddy. You waited a whole year, you about to get it now. Man, look at this. Like, again, I don't think it look horrible. I really don't, but it ain't spectacular either. Like, all of this talking that they should, like, no, they are not living up to the hype. Period.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so yeah, I never got why they didn't wait for benchmarks. I don't get it.
Because they want to get ahead of see what it is. They want to get ahead of the curve. And then if it were to happen, it's like playing lotto. You got to put something down. You got to put numbers down, right? And if it hits, you're the big winner, right? That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to be like, oh, we knew it. Well, no, you didn't know it. In fact, it's like almost the complete opposite. So again, y'all need to spend 2022. Shout out to J Bond. He says, blame the lies post up told on Z's channel. Yo, he was a big advocate on this bullshit, bro. Yo, it's crazy. But y'all need to spend all of 2022 talking about how wrong you guys are, talking about how both consoles are very similar, questioning, did Microsoft make the right decision waiting for full RDNA 2? Because Sony clearly didn't, and you've seen great results, right? Those things y'all need to discuss about that. Y'all need to discuss why some of these games are looking lackluster from a next generation graphical. We're not arguing about the merit of having fun. Okay? No. And I'll be honest, I will hold Sony to the same standard too, right? I'm holding Sony to the same standard too, because there's a different expectation of, let's say, for example, Sucker Punch. If they were to release the next Infamous, I'm looking for a graphical showpiece. As compared to maybe Housemarque. Or maybe New Haven, because they're a new studio. I'm not going to hold them to the standard. Because they're still kind of new. I don't know what to expect. But if Sucker Punch comes out a new game, especially after Ghost of Tsushima, you can't go back. If you show me some bullshit, sure, the new Infamous might still be fun, but I'll be like, man, especially when you have Insomniac out here, like, for example, if Sucker Punch releases a new game, and it's a new Infamous, I expect nothing less than what Insomniac did to a certain degree. 4K 30, with a 60 FPS, option for ray tracing, all that shit.
Yeah.
I'm not going to hold them to a lower standard. That's my expectation with Sucker Punch. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that expectation is what drives Sony to do better, because they know I'm not the only one that's going to expect that. A lot of us are going to expect something, right? We're going to expect some graphical leaps, some improvements, and maybe some new cutting edge gameplay, something, right? But you're not going to give us some bullshit. Like, if Sucker Punch makes a game that looks like Halo graphically, I'm going to be like, what the fuck? What B-team shit are you serving up here? Especially after what Insomniac is doing? And goddamn well, Guerrilla is giving us graphical showpiece. Sony Santa Monica is giving us graphical showpiece. Even, Polyphony. You ain't going to give us some bullshit, You guys need to spend 2022 apologizing, reaffirming that Xbox Series X is not the beast that you thought it was, reaffirming every week that the consoles are comparable to each other, and you need to start questioning Microsoft on what decisions they make. Should have they waited for 402? Should have they focused more on proprietary tech that truly takes advantage of the Xbox Series console, vice the pseudo tools that just works across everything on PC, cloud, and whatever? Y'all need to start having those conversations, because this shit looking spooky out in this motherfucker. And the crazy part is, you don't even have to spend $500 for next generation console. You can spend $400 if you're not worried about the disc, which a lot of gamers are. A lot of gamers stopped buying discs. They went straight to all digital. I know. I mean, but I say more and more gamers done it. So for $400, you could get a next generation or current gen console with amazing performance and ray tracing, all this shit. Y'all need to start asking that. So that's your way out. Y'all want to protect your Lord and Savior? You protect the best interest of a company and their first party IPs? Then y'all need to eat up. Somebody has to eat this up. I think it's only fair. Somebody's going to have to get the egg on their face consistently. So it's either going to be Microsoft for not delivering what was talked about, or the influencers and YouTubers for talking on shit that they didn't really know. Somebody's going to get the work. It's not going to end. I'm telling you, no one's going to stop this. It's going to happen with every Xbox first party game. Every single one will be judged on what 2020 was promised. What y'all said was Xbox going to be about, that's the standard we're holding it to. Every game, especially from the major first party. Like, we're not going to hold compulsion games to that standard, whatever. You know, obviously, they're small studios. But Coalition? Yeah. Ninja Theory? Yeah. Bethesda? Oh, you know, people can't wait to see what Bethesda is going to do under the Microsoft umbrella. You know they're going to get that work. I'm just telling you, if you want that to stop, then you have to be the sacrificial lamb. Somebody's going to have to be the sacrificial lamb in this. Because we're not going to let this shit go. You're not going to curse us of 2020. I mean, bad enough we had COVID, then we had to deal with y'all motherfuckers while we were stuck at home all day? No. No. You're going to get this goddamn work. You're going to get this work. Somebody's going to get the work. Right now, the onus is on Microsoft based on what you dude said. So Microsoft's going to pay because of what you guys promised. Is it fair? Who cares? Life ain't fair. Oh, well. That's what I was taught.
But go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that they need to spend more time listening and maybe asking questions than making assumptions. Because that's why the whole thing, what you just said, was about 2020 was about people assuming because of 12 T-flops and 52 CUs that was going to make things automatically better. And that has not worked out. That's not the way this cookie has crumbled. So you don't get to run away and hide in your Twitter spaces and all that kind of stuff, crying. No, you're going to be held accountable. So I just think the community needs to be listening more and asking more questions and not just assuming things that are going on. Because there's reports out there that Sony is working on another console. They're out. There's reports out there. Yeah, but Sean Layden said, and I said this 100 times, as soon as the console launches, the next day they're working on the new console. That's not really a new thing. That's always been that way. As soon as they're done and they officially launch their console, like for example, the work on the PS5 began in November 2013 when they launched the PS4 because they're done. Yeah,
it's done. Sure, they were still doing the Pro, but once you already finalize your console and stuff like that, you got to start thinking of the future and what the true next generation is going to be. And you can't wait 2-3 years before it begins. They start right now. So right now, they're working on the PlayStation 6 as we speak. Sure, it's conceptual. It's conceptual. It's all paper. It's paper specs, right? That's how it all starts out. Well, not even paper specs. I think it's just an idea, right? Optimus.
Well, it's just what can we do better? It's just, you do have a team there that tears it all down and says, okay, what can we do better? See, one of the things that cracked me up about the fanboys with MLB The Show, they were like, well, in order for MLB The Show to be put on the Xbox, Microsoft had to get an early dev kit to build for that game. Not port it, per se, but they still built that game at a Sony studio. So they already knew exactly what the Xbox could do before everybody else did.
That's a good question because that's a great point because technically speaking, Sony knows
Yeah.
what the Xbox Series X is capable of. Because they actually have dev kits.
Yeah, they had their kits. They had to have them before they.
Cole, what do you think about that?
As far as them, well, I thought if you are a gamer, this is why I did my podcast between. Oh yeah, Cole did leave. Yeah. I assume he's popping back on. But that's why I said before, you have people in the community that actually understand there's a business side to it, and you have your fanboys who are going to have their blue pill emotional responses. Sony should cancel the game. It's like, well, do you not realize Sony got their hands on an Xbox dev kit to put the game on, and they'll get one. If Xbox makes another dev kit, they'll get another one early. And they would just build based on that.
But
and
now,
again,
technically speaking, Microsoft probably have a dev kit because of Minecraft, don't they?
Possibly.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that they don't. But I don't know. I'm not saying. I mean, I do know for a fact that Sony got an early dev kit to put that MLB game on.
But I would imagine
so they knew the capability.
But I would imagine Microsoft has a dev kit because
or something close.
They definitely have a dev kit because of Bethesda. So I don't think that's even a problem. Yeah, so they do have dev kits because Bethesda have dev kits.
Oh yeah.
So Microsoft technically has it in their hands as well.
Yeah. So that's why I was saying this is.
So they both have it. So shout out to all right. So Optimus Sweatback. I think I missed one before, but he said you think a cloud version of Halo could be on Switch. A cloud version of any game could be on any device because it's not the device. So technically, on a technical level, the game is not running on the device; is running on a server, being streamed into the device. To answer your question, Xbox Game Pass or some type of cloud app would have to be installed on the Switch. So you would activate the app and boom, you have access to the game, whatever. So the answer is technically yes, it could run on the Switch, but that's more or less an agreement between Microsoft and Nintendo to see if it's allowed to be on Switch. And I think Nintendo has a bigger say. I think Microsoft would love to put Game Pass and have the Switch play it through the cloud, kind of like phones, because that's what Microsoft's trying to do with Android. Well, they are doing it with Android. They're trying to do it with iPhone. I guarantee they would love to put the Xbox Game Pass app on the Switch, so that way Switch players can play all these games through cloud streaming. It's just whether Nintendo would allow it. That's really what it comes down to it. If Nintendo,
and they're talking with Sony because Sony makes the Xperia phone.
Yeah,
so they're talking to them. So
So that's what they're trying to do. So that's going to be interesting, right? And,
that's a good question.
Yeah, so the great question. And then Optimus Sweatback, like, he has another question. And, oh, man, you were doing so good, bro. Like, I don't even know. What's that? Okay, so Optimus Sweat says, do you think Cheeky 69 is the new Selena, P-Rock? I don't know. I don't know who Cheeky 69 is. Now, because you said Selena, I know Selena. Selena is a Tejano music, right? I don't listen to Tejano music. Listen, dude. I'm Puerto Rican. I listen to salsa, reggaeton, merengue, bachata. I don't listen to Tejano music. I'm not Mexican. Be better, bro. No, I'm just kidding. But I have no idea who she is. But the fact that you compare her to Selena, I'm interested in seeing how she looks. So I will find out who Cheeky 69 is. I'm about to.
Of course, he's going to ask a question like that with a name like that.
Hey, Craig, go say something to the audience while I look something up. Of course, it's gaming related.
Oh yeah. Well, what up to the audience? Hit that like button. Let me see here. I'm getting feedback for some reason. Let me kind of change my mic position.
I better not regret it.
I talking to my own. What's up, Amanda Pemberton? Okay. Compost Smurf in the house. Y'all need to go sub to my channel, Cryptopsy. It's been a long time since I saw you, Negro.
Okay, I see who you're talking about. Oh, he like them thick.
Juan Hey Tuda, what's up?
Now everybody went on their phone looking at it. All right, so I think Cole left, right? I guess he had he was busy, man. It's just stuff like that. So anyway, so listen. So I think that's it. Do you think that's that's a fair? Do you think that's a fair trade-off? That all these people that hyped And not the fanboys on Twitter, right? I'm talking about the people, the influencers, the journalists, and podcast members. You think they should spend setting the record straight and just admit they were wrong. And then we can move on from. Then we can move on and then look at each game on the merit of expectation. Because right now, at this very moment, there's still a high expectation on what Xbox Series X can do.
Well, no, to me, it's running. I was told it's running exactly the way it should be running. Like what you see is what you're going to get. And it's not that it can't be patched or things like that, but you're going to have the screen tearing and the pop in and stuff like that, because as you have pointed out about the bottlenecking, the one thing Sony did do with their PS5, and Mark certainly talked about it at that road to PS5. And yes, I know it's ASMR, but if you can go ahead and watch it, he does talk about in the first 15 minutes about eliminating as many bottlenecks as possible. So, and Xbox did not do that. Now, maybe if they do a new Xbox, which my understanding they're thinking about, they are going to address that bottlenecking issue. But no, I agree with you, and I thought that one Xbox influencer, he did come out and say something to the effect of, and I'm paraphrasing, that it's something like if you bought a Series X based on something that he said about it running games better than on PlayStation, and he's sorry. I don't know if that was a hack account. I don't know if that was him, but yeah, I would like to see more accountability. Definitely. Yeah, like I said, they should just, they got to stop the debates. I mean, what Optimus Code did to Post Up, Code should be in jail for what he did to Post Up in that debate. So that was a slaughter. So, but that's one thing they got to stop doing is debating and just listen more. You know, to me, they should listen more and ask good questions. Nobody's going to take their head off for asking legitimate questions. But yeah, when you wait for benchmarks, I cannot stress that enough. Please wait for benchmarks before you start talking about what performances are going to be. Mm-hmm. You know, when I had a conversation online with this gentleman, because NX Gamer, a guy that does independent analysis, he said in Death Stranding on the PS5, the PS5 is running, and wait for it, closer to a 3070 than a 2070. That's why in my little thing on Twitter, it says PS5 equals a 37. Oh, you're terrible. And that's an independent analysis, and the guy just went crazy. I'm like, you all just had all these Twitter spaces on mental health. Here's a perfect example. Here's somebody who has information. He doesn't have a battery in his back. He gives an independent analysis, and you guys lose your goddamn mind. You know, so they do have other issues, I know, but yeah, I agree with you with accountability. I mean, I try to hold myself accountable. Like, hey, look, if I get something wrong, I will put it out, try to get it out as soon as I can. Like, oh yeah, this was wrong, you know. But yeah, it's all about with the narrative of trying to drive people into the Xbox camp to buy Xboxes was to make sure Xbox stay competitive and relevant. But we've seen the numbers. You were talking about it on your latest podcast. They may be at what, 6 or 7 million? Mm-hmm. You know, but Sony is bracing to hit over 20 million next year. Like, that's their projection, and they are pacing for that. So you could be at 2 to 1. That's what a lot of people think, which was, you know what, you go back to independent analysis. Yeah, but remember the independent analysis from Forbes and CNBC was 2 to 1. That was the initial assessment based on what was being ordered. So that's where we're headed. So I don't know why they're surprised. All
right.
You got a super chat.
So Optimus Backsweat, he says, will you buy a PS5 Pro P-Rock? The answer is no. And I will be honest, I don't think we're going to see a Pro. Obviously, we're going to see redesigned PS5s. We're going to see definitely a PS5 Slim. But I don't think we're going to see a mid-gen refresh. Because what will a PS5 Pro do this gen? Go 8K? I don't think the Pro project was successful. As you saw, they shut that down quickly when the gen started. But they kept the PS4 Slim for sale. I think they invested more. They put in more focus to have this console good at the start, so that way it can last longer and not worry about releasing a Pro, because I don't think the Pro concept actually worked out as they expected it to. Because people still kept buying the Slim more than anything else.
Yeah, price. They never brought the price down.
Yeah.
And the Pro did let Sony get their hands on some later technology.
It probably helped them, and it probably helped them in the sense of, like getting used to certain things, like with 4K technology. But overall, I don't think the Pro really helped. I think mostly it was bought by people who already owned the PlayStation, so it didn't grow. Yeah. And I think it stunted them from focusing on trying to drop the price of the regular PlayStation. Because I think one of the catalysts of PlayStation 2 selling so much was how they just continued to the very end. I mean, it got down to the PlayStation 2 Mini when they had that little thing that was literally the size of a disc. They never did that. Like, they didn't try to redesign the PS4 Slim to something smaller, right? Imagine, and I think that will probably be a better focus on the PlayStation 5. It's consistently, obviously you're going to have the PlayStation 5 Slim, then maybe the PlayStation 5 Thin or Mini, get it down to $150, $100, and really blow up, get the fan base through. And I think that's more important than the Pro, because I don't think the Pro is going to do nothing. And then what is the Focus Pro? I've had Sony just put the energy towards a proper next generation. Because look at it. The PlayStation 4 Pro was $400. But what did you really get for $400 as compared to a $400 PS5? You see? For
You're right.
$400, you got a full
But one was
package.
a generational.
But that's the point.
One was a mid-gen. You got to remember the Pro was a mid-gen.
Yeah, but it was still $400.
I get what you're saying. I agree with you.
The PS5 Slim, the PS5 all digital is. So I'm looking at the dollar amount, right? It wasn't like they. It wasn't like they released the Pro for $300. Then I could be like, okay, I get that. No, but they released it at the cost of a next generation console. Yet you only really got one aspect, because it's the same controller, same disc, like nothing really was big about it, But when you look at it,
I agree. Same frame rate.
Yeah,
same frame rate.
Nothing really big, just a minor upgrade. But when you look at a next generation console, it's everything. It's more than just the graphics. You also got haptic controllers and stuff like that. Yeah. So you get more bang for your buck just having them invest in an actual next generation packet and not waste time, stuff like that. But hey, great question, and welcome to the channel. I don't know who you are, but obviously you're a fan of Optimus. All right.
Yeah, hit that like button.
But anyway,
those are good questions. Yeah.
It is a great question. So hey, hit the like button. But I think we covered, and we let our grievances out. Listen, to end the show, every Xbox, the major developers, obviously, they're gonna be held to a standard. We're not just gonna simply let it be or just have fun, because you guys weren't about that life in 2020. Y'all were not about, we're gonna get new consoles and everybody's just gonna have fun and just leave it at that. No, you guys were talking mathematical calculations on. You got Craig still wondering what a CU is because of you guys. He's still trying to figure out what a CU is. You guys talking about 52 compute units while PlayStation only has 36 compute units. Like, you don't even know what that shit means.
So I keep asking about it. Nobody can answer me.
Yeah, so it is what it is. Anyway, this is your boy Porter Rock 77. I hope you guys enjoy the show. All right, I will catch you guys next week. Once again on Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. I'll probably do another Talk That Talk or probably do a hot take. I'm trying to decide which of the two. Last week I did a Talk That Talk. I'll probably do a hot take because it's a shorter video. I couldn't do that video as a hot take because it was too long, so I needed to go live. But let me try to bust out like a quick 5, 6, 7 minute video. Drop it Thursday. Craig, what are you up to? Craig, are you having a thing tomorrow morning?
No.
Oh, you motherfucker!
No, I'm working tomorrow and Thursday.
I swear to God, I hate you so much. You want to know? You want to know why?
No, I mean,
you want to
do Thursday?
No, you want to know why I hate you, right? Why you think I hate you?
Because it's too early.
No, because you're not doing it, and I'm off tomorrow.
Oh,
so I can hop the fuck on. For the first time.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I need a farmer's almanac because of your ass. I just don't know. Because you realize I don't think I ever been on your podcast because your shit is too crazy.
Yeah, I know it is. Well, I do morning because usually J-Tech comes on about 11 Eastern time. So I get that. I get the coffee and donut crowd, and he gets the brunch.
But I'm trying to help. So. I'm going to be part of it. I want to be part of.
I'm gonna do one Saturday morning.
What time Saturday morning?
About state of play.
What time Saturday morning?
All that stuff. Probably about 10 o'clock.
East Coast.
East Coast.
All right.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna do it, even though it's 7 a.m. God damn it, for me.
Yeah, jump on. We can talk about state of play.
Yeah. I'll do it. Because
Florida's playing Georgia. It's the world's greatest outdoor cocktail party. Right, so we'll I'm definitely watching that on Saturday.
So I'll be up 0 dark 30 to be on his podcast, to be on the Porch Light podcast. You should call it 0 dark 30 podcast because goddamn,
I may do that.
Because 0 dark 30, call it. That's the late. Anyway, thank you for showing up. Hey, everybody, on your way out, hit the like button. Thank you so much for rocking out with us. I'll see you guys again next Tuesday. Rocking out right here. This is your boy Porter Rock 77, your only friend in these YouTube streets, and I am out of here. Apologize. All of 2022, apologize every week for the whole year. And then we're good. But only then will you have my permission to die. And there you go.